Well, seeing as I was doing the Mayan project video, I'm going to be doing the Iron Gauntlet, or Gunlet, let's say. And like I always say in my videos, if I pronounce something wrong or can't say a name, I will normally skip it and make something up. And the reason for that, I have dyslexia and global learning delay. Anyone who points out my reading, pronunciation, comments will be removed, and so on and so forth. Please listen to the start of the video about it, because it gets quite repetitive, but I've already done it, so over again. We're going to get on with this video. We're going to be looking at unusuals, weapons, a taunt, maps, and basically see which one you guys like. So hopefully I get to say their names correctly. And let's start with number 25. The Mann code. But instead of code, it's code. It's an unusual hat where it basically has the 1 zeros of what the robots see. And this is a very quite nice unusual. I like the style of it with the greeny colour. But also it fits pretty much with the cosmetics. Now, if you had a robotic cosmetic, this will make the most sense, as it's pretty cool. But a pretty basic one, and it has been put in the workshop for a while now. It would be nice if it was in the Invasion update, but well, that's ages ago. But pretty good unusual overall. So with number 24, it's the unusual electrical sheep effect. This is another unusual hat where it's basically the sheep going by. There's two versions. There's the blue version, and then you have sort of a gold version with a golden rocket launcher. I like these unusual effects. They're pretty cool. I like the golden one because with the golden rocket launcher. And if you had a robotic hat from the Boogaloo update with these unusuals, this will be pretty cool, and it's pretty nice. I say the left one's more for the Boogaloo hats and the right one's for your average hats. But overall though, those are pretty cool unusuals, and I really like them and may hope to get one day. Unfortunately, there was only one image of this unusual. It would have been nice if there was more. The unusual Barry Flare. I probably said that horrifically wrong and pronounced it incorrectly. Someone's going to end up commenting about that. Wonderful. But this is an unusual. It's like one of those ones that spin around the player's head. But it's pretty much like the first one, but except that this goes floating around like a comment. So, a pretty good one. Now off to the weapons. The juicy stuff. The Haymaker 5000. Yeah, that's correct. It's a shotgun for the engineer, a pretty good shotgun. It fits with the Iron Gauntlet update, and it's pretty cool overall. Yet again, we rarely get weapons in Team Fortress 2, which is quite sad. But it would be nice though if we do get weapons, and occasionally, rather than being so bored to death. But really cool weapon for the engineer, and you know, good modeling stuff. And you know, if it does get added, I wonder what the stats would be. Maybe infinite ammo, but with a damage penalty? Who knows? So another weapon for 21 is the Danger Ranger. I have seen this in an SFM video. I think it's the one with those giant robots. I can't remember the name exactly, but this looks pretty cool for a rocket launcher. Now I wish Valve had this for the Gunmetal update, because this looks sick, lurid. It's a pretty cool weapon, and it would be nice if it has its own stats. But we all know Valve, they're a bit weird with adding weapons, but I like it overall. It has been in the workshop for a very long time, and it's quite unfortunate that weapons don't get added that much, and only cosmetics and unusuals get added. Now taunts are the next thing. Come on Valve, we want weapons! Speaking about weapons, number 20. The Tinder Tanker, another flare gun for the Pyro. Now, if you're into flare guns, this would be kind of flare gun. I like the look of it. It's pretty nice. It has its own projectile model as well, which is also a bonus. Now we all know we got certain flare guns. We have the normal flare gun which does critical crits, we have the detonator which does mini crits, we have the oh come on, I know this one weapon. I forgot the name already, how embarrassing is that? But basically, if you know what weapon I mean, then yeah. But, pretty cool weapon, I have to admit. Wish they just had new weapons. But okay, so, this new spider revolver, I'm going to probably butcher the last bit. View of Cuivre. Cuivre? I think I just butchered it. Really, probably screwed it up, but I could probably end up spending all day trying to pronounce this for a video. It's a spy revolver, and it looks pretty nice. It obviously has the sniper scope, so I kind of guess if you're going sniping as a spy, you would do that, even though the ambassador does headshots. But it's a pretty cool revolver, a pretty interesting and unique one. But in any case, though, it's a pretty good one. Well done for the creation of it. Now this is sort of a Bioshock feel to it, with the Bio Breaker. This is for the heavy replacement for the machine gun, well not machine gun, minigun, it's a drill. I guess this would sort of be like a melee weapon, even though having melee attacks is kind of the last kind of thing you would do in Team Fortress 2, as most people would go for their primary weapons. But I don't know how this weapon would work in combat situation or MVM. Like maybe you move fast but it does extra damage but it requires more fuel. I don't know, what do you guys think that this weapon could be used for? Digging mines or cutting people open like a big daddy? So at number 17, I'm not going to say this name because I know I'm going to butcher it and fail miserably. I'm just going to call it the space gun. This heavy minigun is a pretty damn looking good one. It kind of reminds me of Deus Ex, and it's very futuristic. The modeling is great, and it would be nice if Valve did add this weapon, but unfortunately they don't. As always, Valve have a tendency to not add such great weapons into the updates, even though they look awesome. Come on, Valve. You're kind of slacking in the weapons department. Even though hats and unusuals and miscs are so easy. So number 16 is the Burning Billy. This is a replacement for the Jarate for the sniper. We only have one Jarate based weapon for sniper, but it would be nice to have another one. I guess this one would kind of say would slow down enemies and probably give them like a bleed effect because it's toxic, so they'll be like, oh, trying to get away. But it's pretty cool though, and it fits perfectly for the update. It probably on robots it'll probably slow them down, but unfortunately though, yet again we don't get a lot of weapons with Valve because they're a bit slacking as usual. Though I don't know why they don't bother adding weapons. Yes, there's stats and stuff, but it's almost like they don't give TF2 enough love these days. Talk about weapons, we have a new wrench here. The Nailbiter. There we go. Said there correctly. The Nailbiter is a wrench for the engineer. Now, what would be nice if one of the new sentries in the workshop combined with this wrench would be very nice. Similar with the Gunslinger, where instead of a big sentry you get a mini sentry, but this is a pretty cool wrench, I have to admit. There are some wrenches in the workshop and we rarely get any new wrenches, in particular for the engineer's secondaries. You get bugger all in the weapons department for pistols and stuff. But yet again, no, that's Valve for you, and they just like to be lazy. But poor TF2 gets laughed out of the cold. Now unfortunately there was only one taunt for this, and this one's called the Lazy's Pair of Legs. It's sort of basically like a walking dispenser for the engineer. There's a blue version and a red version which you'll see. It would be nice though if this Iron Gauntlet update, well, community created update, would get a lot of attention, because it's very MVM based and we rarely get anything but MVM. Like, where's the last time we got the last MVM update? I think that was the 2 city updates. That was the last MVM update we got, and we get bugger all for MVM. Yeah, surely we get the occasional bug fixes and changes, but really though, we need something for MVM, and this would be the ideal thing, if it gets enough attention like the Mine project is getting. Now we get into the cosmetics, and that's the Battle Torch. Yet again, I've seen this in another SFM video, you probably recognise it. I like it. I guess it makes sense if you're in the battlefield in MVM, where you find the robots and your sentry's getting damaged and you need to repair it quickly. It's pretty damn cool, I have to admit, and it's a pretty nice cosmetic to have. And obviously enough, they're very, very MVM-like, even particularly with the SFM it is based in. A great SFM, great cosmetics and great items, but Valve, they seem to don't like MVM that much, do they? So number 12 is the Isotop Devil, if that's correct. This is again another cosmetic item I saw on the SFM video. You probably already know it by now. This is basically where the Super Scouts have these bonk-like helmets. Yet again, it makes sense because Scout is obsessed with bonking, and we all know how bonk does. It just makes us immune to damage. Unless the Pyro is not gonna, you know, fling you off a cliff and then you just suddenly die. That's the most horrific thing we don't like with Pyros. Get bobbed off a cliff and just die horribly. Or kept in a corner until the whole team butchers you. Wonderful. And the next item from 11 is the Disassembled Threat. There we go. It's basically like a disassembled robot inside the Scout's backpack. Almost like he's going to deliver it to the engineer. And obviously there's a red version and a blue version, because it would make sense you wouldn't have a red version with the blue one. There was an instance with a cosmetic that it made blue spies look red. Scary beyond belief. I'm like, what? And it also, the eyes glow if you're into the darkness. We don't get a lot of very, very dark maps where cosmetics can glow. It would be nice if we did, now wouldn't it? But a very nice little cosmetic for the Scout. This one's a bit on the creepo meter. For number 10, Pyro 9001. It's basically giving the Pyro glowing red eyes, almost like he's a robot inside that suit. But really the mystery of the Pyro, could it be a woman? Could it be a man? Could it be an alien? Could it be the beast? Could it be actually a psychopathic monster? Or could it be a robot entirely? Who knows? Make a judgment, because when he's looking at you with her or his eyes, good God, it makes it look derpy. But pretty cool eyes if you want to scare some players and go, trick or treat, ah! Perfect for Halloween, even though that's bloody ages away. Oh goodness, how many more left? Number 9 is the Hypno Helmet. I love this SFM pose right here, with the helmet, the planes, and obviously a laser and a freaking tank. It's a nice little battle helmet for MVM, and obviously it's pretty damn cool. I really like the style of it. It's for all classes, so you can have it for soldier, scout, and so on and etc. For all these mercenaries, and as you can see here, it's also paintable. So if you want to paint it blue, I guess you go for it, or pink, or whatever. But pretty cosmetic, with a good unusual, I think you have a good buy. Now it's time for the maps. Oh yeah, MVM maps. First off, number 8, MVM Meltdown. This is a map which is a pretty damn looking good one. Almost like it's set in the civility. Now, to remind you, we only have 5 MVM maps, and that's the 3 main ones. Big Rock. I think about 6 or 7 maps we have, and seeing as there's more in the workshops ready for Valve to add, this will be very nice. And a lot of these maps are pretty good and well made and designed. It's interesting because it's all strategized and everything. And for hope for another MVM update, it's something that we all really want. Come on, Valve, give us an MVM update. And we have another one, Downtown MVM. Another city-based map. We have the 2 city updates with the Manhattan. I think that's correct. The Manhattan map. If not, then oh well. Again, I haven't played a lot of MVM. It's a city map, so this would be very interesting for the robots to go through, and also the tank. But pretty cool map. It's very atmospheric, like actually in a city. I don't know where this was set in the MVM universe, but it's pretty cool. And obviously some new things pop up here and there, and probably some interesting strategies to actually beat the metal menaces of Grey Man, which we all know Grey Man died in the Command comics. Another one, and number 6 is the Powerplant. A interesting one. It's a mix of outdoors and indoors MVM map, where you have an outdoors bit and it goes pretty much inside to a power plant. Obviously, Grey Man needs to shorten the mirth. Oh god, I'm yawning in the middle of a recording. How embarrassing. There we go. Where was I? Ah, yes. Grey Man sent the robots to blow up a power plant to prevent Manco producing weapons and productions. But you know, that's not going to happen with the mercenaries. If your whole team isn't nothing but pyros, or maybe those odd scouts, or horrible snipers, but if you have a pro sniper, then you'll win. So at number 5 is another MVM map, MVM Isolation. This makes sense from the map. It's snowy, it looks abandoned, there's nothing but isolation, nothing but mountains and trees. You feel like a trap. Like these robots are preventing you from escaping. You have to fight and kill them, even though it's your bloody jobs. But hey, it's a pretty cool day to not die from robots. Now the map is pretty big, I have to admit, and it gives some open areas to make you think where the place is sentry. I guess you would have 2 sentries, one there, shooting downhill. But who really knows until you try it out yourselves. Okay, number 4, MVM Underground. An interesting map set in underground. A lot of maps are usually indoors or outdoors or a mix of both, but an underground themed map, that is interesting. And how the hell did Saxton Hell manage to do this without spending a lick of money? Well, probably lots of money by the look of it, and there'll probably be even more when the bills come in, when Manco goes big go boom. A pretty nice map. It feels sort of an isolation and claustrophobia, knowing that these robots are closing in, and it does have some interesting ambush points for you to attack the robots, some probably interesting areas to push them back, but I will say it's a pretty good map overall. Now this one's a pretty cool Area 51 map, MVM map. You got robots, aliens, it's a pretty cool map. Now there's some unique things about this one. There's some new things added in, and that's these jump pads over, if you see there. I believe they're jump pads where they jump you up to the 2nd floor, which is quite nice, I have to admit. As well, like a bit of a nice jump pad to boost us up to ahoy victory. And obviously it has that sci-fi feeling. It would have been nice if it was added in with the Invasion update, sort of a bonus MVM map to say, but it obviously would have been a good opportunity. So another cosmetic, the Pyro's fuse box. I know I could have ended this on the cosmetics, but I noticed that I was missing 2 slots and there weren't any more maps, so I decided to add some 2 things random at the end. It's pretty much like a fuse box for the Pyro. Like, alright, I think the Pyro's malfunction, let's check. Oh, he's got a missing fuse. Here's a new fuse. Now bob off and go and burn some people. WM1 style. Not really. You gotta learn to be skillful for the Pyro instead of running like a dingbat getting killed. But it's a pretty nice cosmetic. There are some cosmetics out there for the Pyro's back. You got like a barbecue one, you got like a Halloween one. You know, some pretty interesting ones nonetheless. But pretty nice though, and got a bit weird. Oh god, not yawning again. Then we've got the last one, the unusual hail of bullets effect. And it's basically with a dark cloud with hailing bullets, and we know how a lot of bullets heavy uses to kill those robots, you're talking about grands worth of bullets. But you never really know, really, because Manco can provide them with all sorts of things. Boy. And that's the end for the Iron Gauntlet. Or Gauntlet, or... I think it's Gauntlet. Probably pronounced it wrong or correctly, I don't know, until somebody ends up pointing it out. Now, thanks for watching the video. Now, this is a video doing all of these in one, so I don't have to do multiple videos. But, if you guys demand me to do another one, I will. And I may do my top 9 favourite classes and top 9 weapons that I like. And yet again, thanks for 3,000 subscribers. I did upload a Rust video of me just playing the Game Mule X-Files theme to random people and get random things. It was quite hard, a lot of editing, but overall though, it was pretty good, and I did enjoy myself making it. A bit of laughs here and there, and getting killed, there's a bit of fuck around. Have a good day, folks, and I'll see you all next time.